I stay up pretty late. It's something I try to work on, but with so much to do, it's been a bit of a struggle. Usually, often around 1 or so, I go downstairs to get a drink of whatever we have at that point. I creep down the stairs, trying not to awaken the rest of the household, past the living room where the cat sleeps to the kitchen. Thirsty, I open the fridge, get out my beer, yogurt, or whatever, right? And then I always stare out the window into our backyard. It's a strange feeling, seeing your backyard and kitchen in complete darkness. You're there all the time in the day, and it feels totally safe. Our house is in an urban area, the yard is fenced off, and we're not in a very dangerous neighborhood. Rationally, you know that this is all true, and likely nothing can hurt you. At night, though, all your rational thoughts drop away as you stare at your dark backyard. Whatever feeling of safety you felt is gone now. For whatever reason, your kitchen, your yard isn't safe anymore. There isn't a true rational reason for this. The darkness has eaten your house. Whatever this room is, it's not yours anymore. So, drink in hand, you make your way up the staircase, but the way up isn't the same as going down. You feel watched. Your kitchen, your hallway, the stairwell, it isn't safe anymore. It isn't yours. So you jog up the stairs, making a bit more noise than you wanted to, convinced that if you stop, something will drag you into the darkness and eat you like it has the rest of your house. You open the door to your room, close the door, and you're safe. The lights are on. Your PC is still buzzing, and your friends are screaming at each other about whatever has sparked an argument this time. So you sit down, safe, secure. Your little room of light, surrounded by darkness.
Miss Jackson is responsible for your fascination of houses, particularly the idea of them as sentient beings, maintaining relationships with the humans that inhabit them. You would like to haunt a house when you die.
Anatomy explores the idea that perhaps your house was never really yours. It explores the idea, what if your house truly did live? That it isn't your imagination. That something is watching you. What if the house was alive? And more interestingly, what happens when you abandon it? One of the most interesting lines in the game is the line,
"What happens to a house when it is left alone? When it becomes worn and aged? When its paint peels and its foundations begin to sink? When it goes for too long unlived in? What does it think of? What does it dream?"
It explores the idea that 1, a house can have emotions and a consciousness, and 2, the house can be abandoned and grow spiteful. In the course of the experience, you traverse the many rooms, listening to audio tapes spread around the house. First, the lower floors, where a man talks about examining a house as a body with organs instead of as an inanimate entity. The halls are like blood vessels. The windows, its eyes. Then, it talks about the brain. The master bedroom.
In this way, during these hours, the bedroom seems less like a mind and more like a mouth. For it is here that the house is most likely to betray us. It is here that we place ourselves most at the house's mercy and spend each night hoping that it will not bite down.
It's hard to explain the feeling you get playing Anatomy. When you finish a tape, having listened to some of the most disturbing audio I've heard ever, It tells you very simply where the next step is. I've never been so scared to walk out of the kitchen and up the stairs in my life. The kitchen, while not actually feeling private nor safe, becomes a vault against what's in the rest of the house. Anatomy makes me feel like you aren't safe anywhere, like you're watched. While standing in the kitchen, you don't experience the presence of safety, you feel the absence of danger. Nothing in Anatomy feels safe. It makes me feel like... Jacob Geller, in his video Control Anatomy and the Legacy of the Haunted House, has a similar feeling.
Anatomy is when you were a kid and everyone else had gone to bed and you were the last one downstairs. It's when you looked up, realized that it was your job to turn the lights off, and realized this meant being alone in the dark of your living room for excruciatingly long seconds. Anatomy is the terrified sprint I did up the stairs after switching off the last lamp, unsure of exactly what I was running from, but absolutely confident that the dark living room was no longer a safe space. But in Anatomy, there are no covers to jump under, and even worse, Anatomy tells you that those covers were never safe to begin with.
The game plays with the idea of home, the idea of safety, and the idea of flight. Often in horror games, I ask myself, why don't they just turn around and leave? Go home. The answer for Anatomy is clear. You're already home. Kitty Horrorshow, creator of Anatomy, is a creator I stumbled into the same way many others did, via Jacob Geller's prolific videos. He has made multiple videos about the creator, notably on Anatomy. But in his video, 4 Short Games About Pain, he covers more of her work. It's hard to underestimate the effectiveness of Horrorshow's art. It drives me up the wall like nothing I've ever played before. It's scary, horrifying, dreadful, filthy, disgusting, but filled with meaning.
You never feel safe. You never feel truly private. The only writing you do that people seem to seek out is that which you don't want anyone reading. Even at your most confessional, you self-censor. Even when you hide behind second-person pronouns, you never reveal as much as you'd like. It's a horrific, explosive feeling. The gag in your mouth is 10 years old.
Kitty Horrorshow on many occasions has reinforced their identity as trans and a witch. Both of these have a great influence on our work, for instance in her interactive experience Ritual. Ritual is a vile game. Vile here is not used as a measure of quality, but as a feeling I had throughout the entire experience. Ritual is also an autobiographical game. You read about your own diary being stolen by your girlfriend, who takes notes to use it against you. You read about you being harassed for your identity, only for them to be threatened in return to stop harassing you. You read about Horrorshow's start at witchcraft, and being called sewer by your teacher in high school. The ritual, which you've been preparing through all your ruminations, finally starts. The goal is to change your body to become what you want to be.
Each time you look down at your body is like a sudden twist in the guts. One of those son of a bitch moments of self-loathing that takes an hour to stop thinking about. Black magic's pretty much the only way to get your body into the shape you want it, so that's what we're going for.
You know the ritual won't work well, but you continue anyway. First, you become your envisioned self. A feminine face, supple skin, flat stomach. But, as expected, it backfires. Kitty Horrorshow's art speaks to me like most other works can't. While I haven't experienced the things she has, it screams a certain authenticity that connects to my own experiences in ways I've never expected beforehand. Ritual says out loud the anger and despair in life, complete helplessness to change your current situation, but a constant need to get out, to leave, to find safety. I'm not an expert in art critique by any means, so I wholeheartedly recommend Kitty Horrorshow's games. A lot of them are free for you to enjoy, and those that aren't are completely worth the small cost. Kitty Horrorshow also has a Patreon page if you wish to support her monetarily. Besides the creator herself, go watch Jacob Giller. He makes a lot of work of higher quality than myself, and if you enjoyed this amateur attempt at art critique, his work is sure to grab you. This video is made for a college minor of mine about the underrepresentation of women in the arts sector. Lastly, thank you to Clockwise for voicing the quotes in the video. Go check out their art and stuff. It's really good. Like, really good. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I put both a link to Clockwise's stuff and the website that this video is made for in the description of the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you around.